Connecting phone.
Slow. Hi. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Hi. Hello, everybody. Good evening. So I've got my incredible partner here tonight being my moderator for me. We forgot to mute. So I'm going to start off with a little love reading whilst I wait for people to come on and just see what comes out tonight, which is truly exciting. Have you had a great day? I'd like to know where you are watching from. Are you in Australia? Are you in the Gold Coast, where I am? Are you in America? Are you where are you? I'd like to know where you are watching from. Whilst I do this, I'd like you to think of a question that you'd like answered tonight. Hi, Andrew Jansen from the Gold Coast. Oh, here we go. Wow, two cards have come out. The first one is spiritual maturity and the silver waterfall. So I won't talk too much about the silver waterfall yet. I might even do the exercise at the end, which is really exciting. But it's really beautiful that this has come out tonight, simply because you are about to embark on a spiritual maturity journey, okay? It's not that you're not mature now. It's just that, you know, there is things that you're about to learn that you didn't even know that you didn't even know. It's like these were blind spots, which are essentially creating the patterns within your relationship. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to share my screen. Before I do, actually, I would really like for you to take a deep breath, sit back and relax. And have you got a nice warm drink ready or a water? Have you got a pen and pad ready as well? All right, I'm just going to share my screen. Here we go. Give me a thumbs up or a like or a comment if you can see my screen, just so I can make sure that I have you. You can view it. Can you view it? All right. I mean, like in the chat box, give me a thumbs up or a like or can see it. Oh, that's great. Okay. I can see it, so I'm assuming that you can see it. All right. So this is how to achieve the breakthrough. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate the comment. And avoid the breakup. So this is for you if your cup feels empty in your relationship. If you've been repeating the same patterns, hoping it will change, feeling unhappy and disconnected. You want to reignite the spark. You see a future together and you want the tools to transform your current situation. Is this you? Let me know in the chat box. Comment yes or drop a comment and let me know. A heart, a like. I don't know that this has the capability of Zoom. I used to. I'm using a new software, so please forgive me if I'm a little bit. What's the word? Clunky is the word that I'm looking for. Okay, so to get the most out of this, I need you to do a few things for me. I want you to take away some great tools tonight. I want you to really enjoy yourself, really be vulnerable, be honest and open with yourself. I would like you to engage and play full out. I want you to turn off any distractions. This is your time and your time for not just yourself, but for each other. Ask and answer any questions along the way. Please take notes, and I have a free gift for you at the end. Oh, there we go. Andrew's worked out how to do the hearts. Thank you. I do have a promise for you. I am going to offer tools to transform your relationship breakdowns to breakthroughs. And one of my favorite sayings, and this is my saying, is Not all relationships are fairy tales, but there are fairy tale moments. So it's in the storm that we weather that gives us the beauty in the fairy tale moment. So without the yin, there is no yang. So embracing the challenges is what makes a relationship stronger. So I'd like to understand at the moment, who is currently feeling disconnected and lonely, unappreciated and unheard, anxious or avoidant? Because I want to take you, I'll give you a moment to answer. If you're feeling disconnected and lonely, unappreciated and unheard, anxious and avoidant, I want to take you from that to feeling connected and reignited, loved and appreciated, and emotionally empowered. So how we'll do this on this call today is, excuse me, we'll be covering the relationship wheel, the 5 steps to genuine connected love. What is an imprint phase and how it's impacting your life and your relationships? The 6 big mistakes that all couples make, the breakup cycle, and how to avoid the breakup. And I wanted to let you know that I doubt that this was an easy choice for you. I think often it's easier to keep going down the same path and hoping that things will transform. So getting on this call could be quite confronting. And I really appreciate you for not just taking that leap and not just taking the leap for yourself, but for your relationship, but you trusting me. So along this journey, I promise you that you will enjoy this and your time invested has not been wasted. It is wisely spent. You will leave with actionable steps you can implement ASAP. I will walk you through the journey from start to finish. I'll give you an opportunity to further this training with me. There is a time for questions, and you will, as I said, receive a free gift for your time and attendance. Okay. All right, so we're going to get straight into it. I don't muck around. We're here for actionable tools. So this is the relationship wheel, and what I would like you to do is get your notebook and pen, or if not, put it on your notes on your phone. But however, I would like you to turn your phone on to silent or turn it on airplane mode if you can, simply because I don't want any distractions. I want you to be fully immersed in this training tonight. And I want you to look at this relationship wheel. This is my creation based on what I know is important within relationships. So I would like you to rate each arm or each section from 1 to 10, 1 being not at all and 10 being all the time. So I'm going to go through it with you. Excuse me. So the first one we'll look at is connection. Do you feel connected with your partner? 1 is not at all, 10 is all the time. Rate it in between 1 to 10. And I will give you a moment to write this down. Just going to grab my cup of tea. 10. Wow, Andrew. That's amazing. Now, please be really honest. The only time I don't see transformation in couples is when they're hiding the truth, they're not being vulnerable, they're not being honest. Okay, so be truly honest. It's going to be confronting, but this is where the magic happens. The honesty is in the transformation is in the honesty. The second one is boundaries. Do you feel that your boundaries are honored? 1, not at all, 10, all the time. Conflict resolution. Do you feel that you are able to resolve conflicts easily? 1, not at all, 10, all the time. And feel free to actually write this in the comments. If you feel brave enough, I challenge you to write them in the comments so I can visualize what it is that you're going through and where you're potentially at. Shared interests. Do you share common interests? Are you doing things together? 1, not at all, 10, all the time. Your love languages. If you don't know what they are, I do educate on them throughout this course. But do you feel to answer this quickly, there are 5 love languages: affection, quality time, words of affirmation, gifts, and acts of service. Acts of service. I forgot. How can I forget? So, do you feel like your love cup is full at the moment? 1 or to 10? How do you feel your intimacy is ranking at the moment? Do you feel like you can be intimate with your partner? 1 being cold fish, 10 being fiery, passion, sparklers. Personal interests. Do you have time and do you do your own things by yourself? Like, is that something that you rarely do, or is it something that you're able to do within balance of your relationship? Values alignment. Do you believe that your values are in alignment? Values such as children, money, career, travel. Physical health. Do you feel like your current physical health status is exactly where you'd like it to be? Something in my eye. Emotional health. Do you feel like currently your emotional health is being nurtured? Your parental goals. Do you believe your parental goals are in alignment, or is there room for movement? And finances. How do you feel currently about your finances? Are they in alignment with each other, in alignment with your goals? Okay, so I'll come back to this soon towards the end of this session tonight, so stay tuned. But how we bridge the gap from, actually, let me go back. My apologies. I'd like you to actually tally it up. The top score is 120, and I'd like you to tally up each individual score and remember and write down your final result for what this is. Because if there is a gap, which I guarantee there is, so there's no right or wrong here, that nobody is perfect, okay, but we can bridge the gap for you, absolutely. And the way in which we do this is through my 5 steps to the Genuine Connected Love course. So the first pillar is the Rediscover Me in team. We do 1 for her and 1 for him. And that's all about setting the right foundations. If you don't have self-love, if you're not filling your own cup, if you haven't worked on any triggers from the past, sorry, that's in this pillar, then your foundations of your relationship will not be stable. Okay, and I'm not victim blaming. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying we only know what we know. And these are learned from our past. And I am going to touch on this tonight. So we need to first pull it apart to put it back together, if that makes sense. So we'll look at the individual. Then we'll go through the breaking through your breakdowns. So essentially, what are the triggers or the imprint phases, which I will talk about tonight, that are creating your breakdowns? How can we discover them? We will discover some of them. And how can we manage them so that you can break through instead of breaking down? Reigniting your genuine connection. So this is all about feeling connected again, getting that spark back. Affection and intimacy and deepening your bond. This comes at this phase, because if we're not feeling good about ourselves, if we're not getting over the argument hangover, if we're not feeling connected, the intimacy will not be there. So we need to essentially create a space first to open up the doors of intimacy. And then the final pillar, pillar 5, is relate, create, and generate your genuine connected love. I'm going to outline some of these tonight and give you some tools from those pillars. Okay, so a little bit about me. Who am I? Why do I get to do this? How does she know what she's talking about? I do go by Belinda Love, and I do want to address that first up to have full integrity with you. My name is not Belinda Love, but people do call me Belinda Love, B Love, the Love Guru, the Love Coach. But my full real name is Belinda Reiger. And the Belinda Love element came from when I was hosting Sexpo. For those of you who don't know, I was the MC for Sexpo for 3 years nationally, and they wanted to hide my identity a little bit, and also they wanted to add the sugar to the spice. So I had a co-star called John Savage, and I was Belinda Love. So that name really stuck, and I love the frequency of love, and I will talk to you about frequencies later on. But I just wanted to have full integrity of who I am. Okay. And where I came from. So how did I get here? How am I able to coach couples through their breakdowns? How am I able to enable singles to find love? So this is me. So I hated love. Like, I hated love hearts when I was a kid. I hated the word love. I was all into stars because I was very avoidant about the emotion. So much so that this is me, little chubby me. With this shirt is a love heart, and it's broken. It's a broken heart. So I was wearing it on my shirt. I was bullied in school. I was getting quite vulnerable now. I was quite suicidal as a child, dealt with some forms of emotional abuse. I was hiding behind characters of cosplay, Superman, Batman, or Batwoman, sorry, the Refreshinator, because I was hiding behind a superhero image because I didn't feel like a superhero, so I looked for it externally. And I dealt with a 15-year sex addiction. So that was who I was and what led me to who I became, which was this woman. I knew that there was a pattern that wasn't quite right for me, and, you know, not to victim blame or to say that I caused it, but without acknowledging these patterns, I would never have transformed. I didn't want to be in the pain I was in anymore. So I'll explain how I got here. But this is what I have achieved. So I've written my book, Breaking Down the Breakup. I have my own courses. I have my own podcasts. I run seminars, and I emceed Sexpo, as I mentioned. I have my own television show, Air Your Dirty Laundry. I am a speaker at events. I was on The Bachelor. I've been interviewed on Studio 10 and Sunrise, The Project, as well as multiple radio stations. In fact, I'm doing a radio gig tomorrow. The Daily Mail. I was interviewed for Red Table Talk. The list goes on. And I would not have achieved all of this without the tools that I'm about to share with you. So what took me from this girl to this girl? What changed? So firstly, I had to acknowledge the big problem. The big problem was repeating the same painful patterns, hoping for change whilst feeling lonely and disconnected. So this was what I felt. Can anyone resonate with that? I'd love to hear if that's something that you have experienced in your life. Okay. So the reasons why. Subconscious beliefs caused by my imprint phases showing up as triggers in every relationship. And the solution, 5 weeks to radically transform your relationship so you can feel happy, connected, and loved. So now I want to share with you the 6 common mistakes that all relationships make. The first one is triggers, which is caused by your imprint phases. The second is the blame game. The third is communication blocks. fourth is avoidance or anxiousness. The fifth is unmet needs and desires. And if you are a parent, neglecting the partnership for parenthood. Does anyone resonate with any of those? Have you experienced this in the past? This might not be in your present relationship, but it might have been something from the past relationship that is coming forward in your life somehow. Which number resonates with you? Was it triggers, blame game, communication blocks, your attachment style being avoidant or anxious, unmet needs? Let me know, comment in the, I really want to get a sense of what you're going through or what you have been through. Often we think we have healed that from the past, but these types of traumas really get into the cells of our body and they stay stuck. Andrew, have you got anything that you've experienced from the past that you'd like to share or comment on? I'd love to hear from you. 3, communication blocks. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Communication is key, because if you are in the blame game where you're blaming each other and not the problem is the problem, not the person, then you're going to have communication blocks. You're going to be looking to defend, looking to blame, and instead you're not being vulnerable or accountable. So there's a lot of challenges around this. Okay. So I'm now going to talk to you about some tools from my first pillar, the Rediscover Me in Team. Okay. All right. This is a little bit of fun. Are you ready? Okay, so the first thing I want to share with you is that self-love is such a hype word, is such a huge topic around town at the moment, but a lot of people don't truly understand what self-love is. In fact, the true definition is it's a noun, and it's the instinct by which one's actions are directed to the promotion of one's own welfare or well-being, especially an excessive regard for one's own advantage. So conceit, vanity, and narcissism. So this is why people avoid self-love, because they feel like it's self-serving, which in fact, self-love is self-serving, because if you don't fill your cup, you can't overflow. So I'm going to say no. This slide is one of my favorite slides. No, we can't say this anymore. Self-love is not narcissism. It is, in fact, this is my definition, is regard for one's own well-being and happiness in order to overflow, to live a fulfilled life and serve others better. So if your cup is full, you can overflow. If you're not, what's the saying? When the aircraft is crashing, you put your own oxygen mask on first before you put your child or help anybody else. It's because you're no good to anybody if you've got no oxygen. And self-love is oxygen. It's giving you the breath for life so that you can overflow and serve others better. So I want to go into imprint phases now, because this is what causes your triggers in your relationships. Has anybody heard of what an imprint phase is? Comment yes or no. I'd love to hear what you are saying. What you've Andrew has. Who else? Who has heard it? It's fine to not know, because you don't know what you don't know. And this is why you're here tonight, to learn more, okay? So an imprint phase is a situation that has happened to us in the past, which has created a belief about ourselves and the external world. So it first creates our belief about who we are and how we see the world. I've got this really exciting video coming up to give you such a little bit more insight into what that means when we work through shifting our trigger. So these happen around the ages of 5 to 7, 11 to 13, 16 to 18, and 18 to 21. So these things, a circumstance happens to us that creates our belief, which then becomes our reality, and we live that out. It plays out in our life. So these are my imprint phases. And there is something dark on here that I'm going to share with you very vulnerably. So I reflected on what my imprint phases were, and I discovered that at age 6, divorced. age 13, I was bullied in school, like viciously bullied, beaten up with sticks and run over with push bikes and viciously bullied. At the age of 16, I had a boyfriend for 2 years and he totally disappeared off the face of the earth, was my first love. Then at 18, I was raped. So these are the imprint phases that I experienced in my life. Whilst I'm talking, I'd like you to reflect on possible imprint phases of your life. And if you think of anything and want to share, please comment in the box. I'd like to hear what potentially you're dealing with. So it all stems, oh, someone's typing. Oh, thanks, great photo. So this all stems from my parents' divorce, and this is my parents here. I think one of the only happy snaps I have of them. It all stems from my parents' divorce, and this is such a common thing. Like, people get divorced, divorce rate is increasing. This is why my purpose on this planet is to just share love, to reduce divorce, or at least educate people on how to find their true soul partner. And it's such a simple thing. We don't realize that trauma for someone is different to another person. It doesn't have to be that we're in a plane crash or witnessed a murder. Trauma can be something like a divorce. And from that divorce, I made it mean two things about myself. This was my imprint phase. The positive side, now I'll share the positive in a moment. The challenging imprint was that I believed I was unlovable and that men were unreliable. Because they got divorced, my dad left. I saw him twice a month. And it showed me what men are capable of. Not that it was his fault. There's no blame here. It's just a situation. And then the positive imprint phase was I needed to understand why relationships break down and how to repair them. So ironically, I'm an intuitive love coach. So this is how much they play out in our lives. They are so impactful, okay? And you don't know this. So how do you know to transform it? And this is why the patterns are happening in your life, okay? This is why there's breakdowns and the relationship cycle happens. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, I just spoke about that. So the event was the divorce. I want you to think about yours. The meaning was I was unlovable and men were unreliable. And that became my trigger. And then that became my pattern. Okay, which then also contributed to my attachment style, which I will talk about down the track. So is this resonating with anybody? Can anybody think of an event that has created potential outcomes for their life? If you can comment, that would be phenomenal. So because of these imprint phases, I then experienced abandoned love, cheated love. I walked in on my ex-boyfriend cheating on me with my best friend, and toxic love. I was with a man who was domestically violent, not just physically, but verbally, and it was disgusting, narcissistic abuse. So then that creates the breakup cycle. So the breakup cycle is you feel whole. You're in the honeymoon phase. You feel trusting and open and vulnerable. And then things happen in between here where the relationship starts to become broken. And it continues to happen because you don't fill this with gold, nothing, which I'll educate you how to fill that with gold. And then you start to feel empty. And you feel so empty that you break up. And then you start again. And because at this point, you haven't done anything to rectify the trauma, the imprint phase, the cycle continues over and over and over again. We need to stop it. We need to put something in place that is going to enable you to go back to here when you feel here or even here. So I'm going to share with you some of my clients. The big problem. Georgia and Hamish were on the brink of breakup. They were in the breakup cycle and they felt disconnected, stale, and like flatmates. So they were here. They were empty. They were about to break up. So let's look back at the 6 common mistakes Georgia and Hamish were triggered because of their imprint phases. So they had the blaming game going on. They had communication blocks. They were in the argument hangover. Their uncertainty, it should be uncertainty, in the relationship causes insecurity. So their attachment styles played out. Unmet needs and desires, and neglecting the relationship for work. After they did the course with me, this is what Georgia has to say. Your coaching enabled me to communicate more easily and deeply with my partner and understand myself, which are important when it comes to relationships and self-love. Working with you helped us both think and talk about our wants, needs, hopes, and fears in a way that felt comfortable and loving. I always looked forward to your calls, and it felt like we made progress every week, especially thanks to the homework. So, whilst it might feel hopeless or helpless for you right now, if you are willing to invest in yourself and in each other, we can transform where you're at. So, doing this course took Georgia and Hamish from feeling disconnected and lonely, unappreciated and unheard, anxious and avoidant, to connected and reignited, loved and appreciated, and emotionally empowered. Do you want to feel those things? Like, if you want to feel those things, type a yes, please. I do. I thought you did. No. So let's make a decision, okay? So the decision is, are you ready to identify your imprint phases causing your triggers, implement the tools to be empowered, invest in yourself and your relationship, and reignite the spark in your relationship? Oh, thanks, Andrew. Drew, I appreciate that. If you are, what are you waiting for? All right, comment yes. I'm going to give you more tools. So Hamish and Georgia couldn't break the cycle on their own. They tried and tried and tried for many, many years. They were constantly trying, didn't have the tools, and they ended up almost breaking up. Okay, now they're in the honeymoon phase. But how did they? How did they transform it? By transforming their imprint phases, by rewiring the old pathways using my course. I couldn't do it on my own either. It took me 10 years to learn and master what I now teach. And this is me and my partner here in Bali doing the connection exercise. And this is a part of the course as well, how to reconnect. Oopsie daisy. So what happened? How did I do it? Okay. I discovered the pattern, but not the solution. I didn't know how to break the pattern on my own. It had already taken me years to achieve the same things. I spent thousands of dollars, stressed out friends and family, and with the same issues over and over and over again, and attracted the same relationships over and over. This was me. I couldn't. So what happened? I was sick and tired of the pattern. So for the next 7 years, I completed self-development courses. I hired a coach. I studied counseling. I became a life coach, an NLP practitioner, a sound healer. I read books and listened to podcasts. I attended seminars and webinars. I spent over $90,000 to achieve this, and I cut costs in the short term to achieve long-term happiness. You know, when you think of the hierarchy of needs, love and connection is so important. So it's something that for me, I needed to invest in. I needed to change the pattern so that I could have what I truly desired, which was the relationship that I have. And then the turning point. So after I learned all that, I shared with somebody. I said, do you want to hear the real story, the whole true story? Comment yes if you do. I'll share with you what really, really happened. So have I got a yes? Yes, I've got a yes. Okay. So I was in a bar I remember the bar, Oxford 152 in Brisbane, Balimba. And I was with a group of friends, and there was some acquaintances that had come along and I hadn't met some of them. And one of the girls came over to me and she was whinging about how relationships, men just want to hit and quit. They're not invested in commitment. And she was sick of it, sick and tired of it. And then she went away, and about an hour or two goes by, and she came back and she goes, see that guy over there? I'm going to take him home and make love. Well, she didn't say make love. It wasn't polite. I'm going to do naughty things to him tonight. And I looked at her in the face and I said, with love, I said, do you really believe that those actions are going to generate the outcome that you want? You were saying to me you wanted to find love and nobody wants commitment. And she said, yeah, of course. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I said, because I believe what you put out is what you get back. So if you're acting in a way that is not aligned with what you want, you're only going to get how you act. And so I'm not saying that casual sex is bad. I'm not diminishing, her and her choices. But what I'm saying is you need to be aligned to receive what you want. Okay, your words and actions need to be in alignment. So she went off and contacted me, found me on Facebook a couple of months later and messaged me, and she said, you were right. Actually, it wasn't a couple of months later. It was the next night or something. You were right. I haven't heard from him. I'm not going to hear from him. And I did do what I said I was going to do. And I said, well, now why don't I challenge you to trial what I suggest? And I gave her the tools. And 2 months later, she found me again and she contacted me and said she'd found love. She'd met an amazing man. They had been on dates for about a month, and they were truly in love. I don't know where they're at now, but that was the turning point for me. That is when I thought, okay, I would like to start to do more of this. So I realized that accepting help took me further than I could go on my own. It is great to ask for help. I'm not broken. Nobody's broken for asking for help. This is not, you're not a victim, although you have been a victim of your circumstances, but you're not broken, okay? There wasn't one course out there to get me the results that I needed. I had to combine multiple courses and my experience all together to deliver this course that I deliver. I had helped transform many people's lives, and the more I shared, the more people asked me about my courses. So I created one. Now I have two, and I will be having a third one. So this is truly my purpose, my passion, and seeing people transform where they're at to find love and to be in a connected, loving relationship is drives me on this planet. So by investing in the tools, I broke the cycle. I found love for myself. Woohoo! I feel love despite my relationship status. So even when I was single, I never felt unloved. I have tools to manage my triggers. My toxic relationships are a thing of the past. I'm able to share and transform lives, recognize the guys that weren't right for me. And yes, again, I found the man of my dreams. And I'll be raw. Do we have challenges? Absolutely. Like, our relationship is not perfect, but it is in the imperfections that we grow that make it perfect. So don't avoid the challenges, because they will deepen your bond and help you grow stronger together. Okay, so did you know that 93% of couples said they had more effective tools for dealing with their problems? Respondents also reported improved physical health and the ability to function better at work after attending therapy. So this was from the American Association of Marriage and Family Therapists. And so I just addressed the point of therapists. I refer to myself as a coach. And people will say, well, why would I work with a coach and not a therapist? I have studied many cognitive tools to help rewire the thinking. Not just give you informational tools, I gift you transformational tools. And that is the difference between, and I've studied counseling, so I know the tools that you get. It's a lot of listening and aha and getting you to talk it out, and giving you information, whereas I provide transformation. Okay. And so I wanted to help people all over the world. Sharing my knowledge and experience with others means they can use my tools to fast track through their breakdowns to have breakthroughs and be effective in their relationships, ultimately avoiding the breakup. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you now about Jazz and Michael. And the big problem that they had was Jazz and Michael put parenting before partners. The spark had gone without intimacy for over 18 months. They were bickering and resentful. So they were in the empty phase of their relationship right before breakup. So they were repeating the same 6 common mistakes, which were the triggers, the blame game, the communication blocks, uncertainty in the relationship causing insecurity, unmet needs and desires, and neglecting the relationship or their partner for the children. Okay. And the results: with Belinda's guidance, I was able to heal attachment to my past and love myself. We were able to communicate our needs, make each other a priority, which people say to me, I have kids. I can't make my partner a priority. My kids are my priority. But there is a possibility to enable yourselves to be a priority for each other. And forgive the past. We reignited the spark and were even intimate for the first time in 18 months. If we keep practicing the tools, we can make this work. And that's the thing. You go to the gym once, you get a pump. You go to the gym every day, you get health. You get muscles. So these tools are something that you can use for life. Once you know them, you have them for life. And you need to keep going back to them, okay? And some will sink in quicker than others, all right? Let's make a decision. I just spilled some of my tea. My decision. Are you ready to break through? And Drew's given me his shirt to clean it up. Isn't he amazing? Thanks. Break through the breakdowns. Are you ready to avoid the breakup? Are you ready to reconnect? Are you ready to revive the honeymoon phase again? Are you ready? Comment. Let me know. I want to hear you. I want to hear where you're at. I'm going to have a sip so I don't spill anymore. Okay, yes is all round. Fantastic. All right, so you may be thinking, you might be fearing this has no success. You might be feeling, I'm tired of feeling unheard. I'm tired of my needs being unmet. I get told no a lot and it's exhausting. We never have time together, so how can we find time to do this together? I don't feel attractive as we aren't intimate anymore and my partner probably won't want to do it. Are you feeling any of those things? I would love to hear from you. And the reason why I bring this up is these are very common thoughts that my clients have prior to starting. And from this to where they end up is leaps and bounds. So I'd like to hear, what are your fears telling you? Can you comment? Which one of these resonates with you? Or have I not listed it? Is there something else that might be here that might be holding you back? Your fears of it not being successful, your fears of trying and being, well, I just said unsuccessful. I'm repeating myself. If you don't bring the blind spots or the fears to the forefront, they will just continue to play out in your life. So it's time to truly look at them so that we can transform them. It's confronting, but it's magic, okay? So I'm going to give you some hard truths now. The quote by Henry Ford: if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Now, this is the same for my version. This is a little bit of a tweak, which is think what you have always thought, you'll always get what you always think. So if you think this won't work, guess what? It won't work. If you think that my partner doesn't want to do it, guess what? Your partner won't want to do it. If you think it's not affordable, guess what? It's not affordable. If you think that you invest time into this and you will have success, guess what? You'll have success. So this is going to take me now into the next tool that I'd like to share with you, which is breaking through your breakdowns. Now, there's multiple tools in all of these workbooks, and I'm only pulling out a select couple to give you some instant transformation tonight. So I want you to pull out your relationship wheel again, and I'd like you to look at the conflict resolution arm. And if you can, write in the comments your score or just write it down. And I'd like you to consider what triggers you the most prior to or during an argument. What triggers Andrew the most? I'd love to hear. He's not writing anything. Come on. Oh, let's work through it. Do you want to work through it tonight? Okay. No? All right. So this is no laughing matter. This is serious. Okay. So I want you to really sit with that. So I'm going to take you through this theory, okay? So has anybody heard of the red car, blue car theory? Okay. So when you go shopping, I want you to write in the comments, when you go shopping for a red car, what do you see everywhere? What's, at the lights, at the shops, on TV, what do you see everywhere? I want to see the answers. Have you hit enter? I'm waiting. Red car. Well done. You see red cars everywhere. Now this is the exact scenario for your relationships. So if you have my imprint phase that I did, or my trigger, which was men are unreliable and I'm unlovable, that is why I attracted all of the relationships that I attracted. It's because I believed that in my heart and soul. I had these horrible, horrific experiences that created me to believe that this was men. So that is all I saw everywhere. Okay. It wasn't until I changed my thinking and thought, well, hang on, not all men are unreliable. Not all men hate me. There must be some good men. Oh, there are some good men. And I started focusing on my blue car. That's when he bloody finally showed up. Thank God. I switched my thinking. I reframed it with my tools, which is amazing. And this is also linked to the David Hawkins map of consciousness. There are two types of emotions. There are scarcity and abundance. And I won't go too much into this, but this is all linked. So if you're living in fear, if you're living in grief or guilt or shame, you're in a scarcity mindset, okay? So that's what you're going to continue to attract into your life. It's like tuning into a radio station. If you're listening to, B105 or KISS FM, that's the frequency that you're tuned into. So that is the music that you will hear. If your mind is tuned into fear, you will get things come up for you that create fear in you, that create grief or shame. It's a cycle. It's the same for love, though. Love is 500 hertz. It's actually 523 hertz, and it is a higher frequency in the abundance, but it's higher on the chain. It's harder to hit. So that's why it's easy to sit in the scarcity. It's because you have to actually physically bring yourself into the abundant emotion. Okay. The highest on here is enlightenment. And I think self-actualization is 900 hertz. So it's possible. We just need to rewire your thinking. Now, I want you to share with me, what trigger did you choose? What was the trigger that you chose? Was it not being heard, not having enough time together, lack of communication? Was it something else? I'd love for you to comment in the box. What did Andrew choose? He's not game. Jokes. All right. He will definitely say it's not a lack of communication. I can hear him laughing. Anyway, so without change, there is no change. Okay, so you can sit here on this side of the bus feeling down, and you have a right. You're in a situation where you're feeling unhappy. Okay, but I can gift you the tools to take you from this side of the bus to this side of the bus. Okay, the happy, glowing, sunny side. Do you want that? Is that something that you would love? Okay. Yes? Can I get a hells yeah? Woo! Okay. So here is some tools I'm going to gift you. So I have that with you. Thank you, baby. Okay. So there are many tools to heal triggers. There's reframing, there's anchoring, there's journaling, there's meditation, there's timeline therapy. And I use all of these, but tonight I'm going to gift you reframing. It's one of my favorite tools. And what I would like you to do is watch this video. So I'm not sure if this is going to work from here. Yes, here we go. Oh, I'm not a robot. No, I'm not. Does that come up for you? Here we go. I'm going to share this with you. Share this tab instead. Are you ready? Here we go. Can you let me know if you can hear it? You ready? Yeah.
An event seen from one point of view gives one impression. Seen from another point of view, it gives quite a different impression.
Can you hear it?
Seen from another point of view. But it's only when you get the whole picture you can fully understand what's going on.
So, does anyone understand what the purpose of that was? I'm going to share this tab. Here we go. Do you understand? Like, that is so powerful. And this is how our imprint phases occur. So as children or young adults, we see something from our own perspective, which is usually out of survival mode. Okay. We don't actually look to think where our parents are coming from, or whoever it was that has implicated this imprint phase. So we only know what we know, what our version is. So this is what reframing is. Here we go. It's not. Here we go. Sorry. So reframing the past by doing the past reality mind shift. So the first step is you need to acknowledge a situation of the past. You need to understand the story, the feeling, the belief you have been living out, and you need to rewrite the story from victim to victor. Okay, so how do you do that? Like, how do you rewrite a story that you only know one side of it? You've only seen one version, your experience. There's three truths: your truth, their truth, and the truth. Okay, so how do we transform it from victim to victor? And I should teach you how I did with my imprint phase. This was my imprint phase with my father and my mum getting divorced, and I made it mean, once again, I'm unreliable and men are I'm unlovable and men are unreliable. And to reframe that imprint phase, I had to look at it from a perspective of, hang on, the divorce actually wasn't even about me. The divorce was about my parents not being compatible, essentially. I know there was a lot of love there, but they weren't compatible. So they didn't break up because of me. They broke up because of them. So instead of blaming myself and taking on board all of that pain and hurt from that relationship ending, I flipped it around and saw it as a benefit. The benefit was I experienced that so that now I could live through all of those traumas, reframe them, and become a love coach, an intuitive love coach, so that I can teach and educate other people to do the same for themselves. So this is an example of rewiring, and I'd love to be able to do that with you hands-on and really get in and rewire all of these imprint phases so that you can have the relationship that you truly deserve, not just with your partner, but with yourself, with your family, with your colleagues and friends. It isn't just within your intimate relationship, it's a ripple effect. So I went from feeling hurt and angry, confused, and feeling like a victim to happy, relieved, empowered, and a victor. Is this making sense? Is this resonating with you? Let me know. Is there an area of your life that you're thinking about that you can apply this to? I'd love to work with someone to help guide them through that, even on this call, okay? So let me know what you're thinking. I'd like to know what emotions and frustrations came up for you. Were you thinking it is all too hard? We've tried it before. This is just how relationships are. My partner won't want to try it. We can do it on our own. Things won't change. It hasn't yet. It is embarrassing to ask for guidance. Why a coach and not a therapist? It may be too expensive. Are any of those thoughts coming up for you? Really get deep and think. I want you to be vulnerable with yourselves. Share with me, if you can, what challenge came up for you. I'd love to hear what challenge came up for you. Did any come up for you, Drew? I'd love for you to make one up so I can...
We've tried it all before.
Oh, okay. So we've tried it all before. So this is the thing. I present to you all of the tools that I have learned over the last 10, 11 years that have not been utilized in one course, in one place. I spent over $90,000 to learn the tools that I know so that I collated it into this one course so that you can have the tools that you deserve, and you don't have to spend so much money that it's years of work. You get it in 5 weeks. All right, here we go. I want to ask you, if I could transform or help you transform at least one of these challenges for you, for your peace of mind, would that be worth it? Would it be worth it? Drew? Would it be worth
100%.
it? Got to time it. Okay. So, thank you for your contribution. It is hard to move forward. Why? Fear of it not working. It's easier to stay in your comfort zone. The belief that it won't change is overpowering. Thinking that you can do it on your own, believing that this is how relationships are, you don't have the actual steps to move forward. So I will share with you, Shannon was feeling the exact same way. She was sick of being hurt, constantly pouring herself into her partner and getting nothing back, leaving her feeling lonely in love. Okay. So she was at the empty phase. Once again, the 6 common mistakes. And then working with me, she says, I've created the relationship of my dreams and it is real, with give and take, ups and downs. I'm not afraid to speak up for what I want in case he leaves me, nor am I constantly giving so much and getting nothing back. As I write this, I have been with my gorgeous man for 705 days. In fact, it's been longer now, and they are having a baby. I cannot recommend Belinda or her coaching enough. Thank you so much. Yay. Having a baby. Okay, so now we're going to look into pillar 3, which is reignite your genuine connection. I'm going to gift you a tool from that tonight. I want to ask you, do you doubt your own needs in your relationship and ask your friends or family for validation? Did you in a past relationship? Drew? Thank you for being vulnerable on this call tonight. Appreciate it. So I want to gift you some self-confidence tools. I want to ask you, what percentage of people on the planet do you think love Nutella? Is it 100%? Is it 50%? What do you think? Comment. Let me know in the box. I'm kind of signaling to Drew, come on, help. Write a comment. Nobody's writing anything at the moment. Everybody's a bit shy. Thank you for participating. So 23%. All right, I'm going to reveal to you the truth. So, hang on. If you take into account that there are 8 billion people worldwide, 365 million kilograms of Nutella sold annually, sold in 160 out of 195 countries, this equates to 4.5% sold globally. So a lot of people say 100% of people love Nutella. It's only sold, 4.5% of it is sold globally. So what is my point? Why are you asking me this? Why am I saying this to you? Hang on. So if you take in consideration that Nutella has 5 shelves in Woolworths and in Coles. Plus, there's the rip-off versions. But there are people who don't love Nutella because it supports palm oil industry, that it's sugar, that people are allergic to nuts. They prefer Vegemite over Nutella. If you take into account all of those people that don't like Nutella, yet there's 5 shelves of it. There's rip-off versions. It sells like hotcakes. Does Nutella change its flavor for all of those people that don't support it? No, it does not. It sits on the shelves. It sells to many people, well, 4.5% of people, and it's loved by many and not by all, and that is perfectly okay. So that is you. You want Nutella, delicious and sweet, loved by many and not by all. And you know what? Ain't nobody got time for that anyway. Who has time to please everybody in the world? So why I'm saying this is because we're fearing rejection. I simply want you to know that rejection is redirection. There's no such thing as rejection. It's just redirecting you into the right direction, the right crowd, the right career, the right relationship. Oh, Andrew said 2 to 3%. You know that. Anyway, I preferred your first one. You cheater. He actually helped me with the numbers on that. Redirection is simply redirection. So we need to stop making it mean that because somebody says no to me, that I'm unworthy of love or that I'm unlovable. It has nothing to do with that, and has everything to do with compatibility. Okay? Does that help? Does that give you some motivation or inspiration to love yourself? Because you deserve it. Yay. So in order to do that, we need to understand the 3 brains, okay? The 3 brains, the head, the heart, and the gut instinct, to really understand self-love and validating our own needs and having our clear boundaries for things and no longer people-pleasing. Who people pleases? I used to people please all the time, and it's exhausting. Constantly changing your colors to suit somebody else's needs is tiring. Okay, stop doing it. Express your boundaries and validate your needs and And the head and the heart and the gut instinct, they're 3 brains. They're 3 brains, okay? So the head and the heart are always in conflict. This is the rational, this is the emotional, and this is the answer. The gut instinct gives you the answer to your questions. And I educate on how to understand them, how to listen to them. Okay. Are you ready to go from feeling empty to going back to the honeymoon phase? I hope so. So just wanted to cover off the return on investment, because relationships are an investment. You'll get inner peace, clarity, self-love, and a new confidence. You'll have a partner you can love and trust for the rest of your life. You know that time and money will be saved on divorce. People spend over $50,000 to $100,000 in divorce. No longer feel lonely, disconnected, and stuck. Time saved listening to confusing advice. We go to our family and friends for advice, and that's okay to be supported, but they don't even know. They only know what they learned, and that's not necessarily the right tools for you. Okay. Time saved listening. Not having to start your life all over again. Just starting it with the person you chose. Clarity, excitement, and a reignited spark with your partner. What will make the biggest impact in your life? I'd like to know what it is that you truly want to happen in your relationship. Is it more connectedness? Is it feeling heard? Is it feeling loved? Is it having more intimacy? Is it relieving the argument hangover? Is it having clearer boundaries? Is it self-love? Because, we're born into this life and we're expected to understand how relationships work, yet we don't even know how to love ourselves. And this is why we continue to attract relationships that are not supportive. But I promise you, you can transform where you're at with that relationship. So I'd like to ask you now, just quickly, not much more time together, so I will hopefully make the most of it. Would it be okay if I showed you what it is like to go on a journey with me, what every pillar sort of offers you, to see if it's relevant to you and something that you would like to do? Before I do, I want to make sure, who is it for? This course is for you are ready to go to get out of the breakup cycle. You want to reignite the spark. You don't want to bicker or fight anymore. You want to make passionate love to your partner again. You aren't ready to give up on this relationship. You want your kids to experience a healthy relationship, and you want to have the tools to have breakthroughs instead of breakdowns. So this is only for you if this is what you're wanting. It could be one, it could be all of them. Okay? This is me and my man. All right. So the first pillar, this is the me and team. So in this, we'll go over your past relationships, your lessons learned. We're going to clear the past because without you even knowing, it is a hangover in your life. Address the past, acknowledge yourself, love yourself, believe yourself, and affirm yourself. Okay? What does all that mean? Well, it's so many layers. It's too hard to really tell you exactly what it is, but I can tell you how you'll feel. And that is lighter and happier, empowered and excited, calm and confident, okay? And a lot of self-love. You'll start to really fall in love with yourself wholly and completely. The next pillar is breaking through your breakdowns. So this is where we look at your relationship breakdowns and we work on your imprint phases and your triggers. Your attachment styles, which are truly important. There are 4 attachment styles, and we work out what your attachment style is, and then we work through navigating it for ourselves and then educating our partner so that they can understand, which will remove the reaction in arguments so that you can respond, which is reaction and response. Then you'll get the love bubble exercise, and then you'll get the fresh start exercise. How you'll feel is enlightened and relieved. A new awareness about yourself and your partner, and a renewed sense of hope and direction. How it works for pillar 3. Pillar 3 is reignite your genuine connection. So forgiveness and peace. We cannot have peace without forgiveness. Okay. Dis-ease in the mind is dis-ease in the body. So dis-ease, let me say that again. Dis-ease in the mind is disease in the body. It's like drinking poison and hoping it kills the other person. So forgiveness is so important for peace. Acknowledging each other, your love speak or love languages. I actually have a whole part in there for that. Honeymoon phase, time together, create your future vision, and the connection exercise. How you will feel. The passion will come alive for that spark to ignite. You'll feel safe and protected and loved and reconnected. Pillar 4 is affection, intimacy, and deepening your bond. So your intimacy blueprint, this is, I love this, understanding your intimacy blueprint and how it works. What you love, what you want more of, what you desire, they're all different things. Setting healthy boundaries, connect deeper and orgasm better. What turns me on about you, and ideas to deepen your intimacy. How you will feel. Loved and heard, connected and valued, ready for intimacy, ooh la la, ready to get naked. Okay, but intimacy is not just about getting naked together, okay? It's about being present and connected with one another, not just in the bedroom, but everywhere in the relationship. Week 5, relate, create, and generate your genuine connected love. So this is where we recap on everything. You write everything down from your highlights and your learnings, and you gift it to your partner so that they have a how-to guide to you. So if you have like a breakdown, you can go into, okay, what are my partner's non-negotiables and love values, so that you can read it again and remind yourself so that you can enter that conversation with confidence and compassion. Okay. So this is fun, and just recaps over what you've learned and sort of sinks in a lot more. How you will feel. Sexy and desired, passion aroused, safe to be vulnerable. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to share with you the investment and what you get in the course, the Genuine Connected Love course. So you get 5 60-minute coaching sessions with myself, valued at $1,525. You get 5 live group coaching calls valued at $1,200. You get 5 live question calls to break through the challenges. So I get on, you come on and ask any questions that you need to answer. 3 live focus coaching for individuals in the group. So if there's any individual couples, in the group that want live coaching, they're additional to your one-on-one private session. So the 5 60-minute sessions are private with me. You get 5 coaching videos. So you get a video for each of the pillars to take you through what you need to do. You also get the workbooks and homework associated with that. You get weekly private support with me via Messenger. So you can message or email me questions and I can answer and respond to you over that 5-week period. Anytime that you have a challenge, I'm there to support you. There is the private group as well. So you can be a part of that. And that is where you can listen and learn from other people and see what they're going through and get support from your community if you wish. That's no pressure. Lifetime access to the membership portal. So normally that's $49 a month, but you get that included for life. And then the bonus Air Your Dirty Laundry expert episode on spicing up your relationship. That's the show I created, and that's not available to everybody. So you get that as a part of the course. So if all this course did was avoid the emotional and financial stress of breaking up, enable you to validate yourself and fill your cup, reunite and reignite the spark, transform the breakdowns and the relationship with your partner, improve your relationships with your existing friends and family, give you the confidence to navigate future breakdowns and get your self-confidence back and feel loved again, would it be worth it? Oh, yes. Oh, that was an old comment. I thought Andrew commented. It's just an old comment. But yes, thank you. Woohoo, yes. So I'll share with you how we'll work. So this part is the uncovering and discovery of each pillar. I will do tailored coaching for you and your partner privately. So we will talk. I'll put the pieces of the puzzle together and then you'll feel loved again. It sounds simple, eh? If money was no object, would it be worth it to you? Would this be worth it? Yes, great, fantastic. Okay, and if you decide to do this course today, there is a bonus, a couple of bonuses actually. The first bonus is you'll get 1 extra 60-minute coaching session with me to use within the 6-month period of the course completion. And I will personally, because of that, that'll help give you the opportunity to personally mediate anything that's come up for you between the course completion and in that period. You'll get the understanding masculine and feminine energy, because that's truly important. So it's a live webinar. It discusses energy fatigue, utilizing feminine energy to recharge and feel happy, and how to manage your partner's shifts between the two. And if you pay up front for this course, you will get 1 night away on me to kickstart your relationship, okay? And if you come to the Gold Coast, we will give you a dream date. I didn't even put this in here. We'll gift you a dream date. It's a Bali beach date on Surface Beach, sitting with 3 courses of meals right on the beach in beautiful chairs and tudung umbrellas. So it's a 5-star experience. So if you do that in the Gold Coast, come here. We'll gift you that as well. And so just to recap, you get all of what I just mentioned, plus the bonuses, which is of total value of $10,000. But the investment is $3,000. But because you've been here and you've watched this webinar, I'm gifting it to you for $2,600. Okay. So that is all of the calls together, the one-on-one sessions, the workbooks, the homework, the bonuses, valued at $10,000 for you for $2,600 because you've joined this webinar. So there is another option. If you don't want all the one-on-one sessions, I will share with you that the one-on-one sessions will fast track you. you will get results from the online course, but doing it with me will pinpoint the exact areas that you need to work on, and it will also fast track you. You get everything. This is what you get: the 5 coaching videos, the 5 workbooks and homework, lifetime access to the membership portal, and the Air Your Dirty Laundry episode, which is normally $2,734, but the value is, the total investment is $1,397. But again, for being here tonight, I'm gifting it to you for $997. This course starts on the, I've forgotten the date, the 4th of March. The 4th of March. And if you want to start, but you need to delay it, let me know. And I also need to share with you that there is a payment plan as well. So if you're interested in doing this course, scan this. This is the full course, $2,601 payment. Scan this QR code and all of the details of this course will appear for you. Okay. I'll give you a moment to scan that. All right. And then this is the online only, the $997. This is the pay in full. I'll give you a moment to scan that. And this is the payment plan option. There was only one link for the other option for the full course, because both options are on that one link, whereas there's 2 links for this one. That's why there's only one QR code for the first and 2 for this one. Okay, so these are the next steps. So I'll give you a moment to ask any questions to alleviate any concerns. Scan the code to get access to the discount and the payment plans. And if you have any questions, please scan this. This will give you a 15-minute live audit with me so that I can ascertain whether this course is right for you. You will have, because you've booked that in, you will still have access to the discounts. So yes, if you'd like to have a conversation with me and ask any questions, please scan this QR code and book in a time with me. It's absolutely free, and I'll answer any questions for you and go over any challenges that you may have. And this is it. So I'll just repeat. The big problem is repeating the same breakup patterns and hoping for a change in your relationship. I would promise to take you from feeling disconnected and lonely, unappreciated and unheard, anxious and avoidant, to connected and reignited, loved and appreciated, and emotionally empowered. So, are you ready to break through the breakdowns? Are you ready to avoid the breakup, reignite the spark emotionally and physically, woohoo, and to invest in your future? Okay. Are there any questions? I'd love to see and hear if there are any questions. I'll give you a moment while I have a drink. Okay, so I have one question. The question is, are there any other payment plan options? If the payment plan option doesn't suit, please book a call with me and we can have that conversation. Another question, how long is it? 5 weeks. So it is a 5-week course, and each week we jump on a call together privately and we do the coaching. Then you go away and do the workbook for that session. And then I come online and I do the question time with you so that you can ask any questions. And during that time, you also get the video that you can watch in the members page, and you get opportunity to message and talk to me throughout that period. So I'm going to walk you through this, okay? You're not alone. This is for the VIP package. The online package is different. It's your own. You work through it on your own. Each week you get the video and the workbook, and then you work through it on your own. Okay, another question. What if you don't get the transformation and tools? The only time I've ever seen couples not get the transformation is when they're not being raw enough, not being open enough, and not being vulnerable enough. If you are being honest and vulnerable, this is going to transform areas of your life you didn't even know possible. Any other questions? Can I use the holiday at any point? So the holiday is something that if you have paid up front for the course, this is a gift to you, and you can use it within the 6-month period after the course completion. Okay. And if you do have any more questions, I'll go back here so you can scan. If you didn't get this, the QR code, scan this and book in a 15-minute session with me, and I'll be more than happy to answer any or any and all of your questions. Okay. So yes, come chat with me for more info. And this is it. This has been a phenomenal session together. I truly hope that you've gotten something out of this. If you have, let me know. Write a comment. And I hope that I see you on the course. Oh, another question. The start date of the course. If you're an online member, for both VIP and online, I have a start date of the 11th of March, 4th of March, but it's evergreen, if that makes sense. So you can jump in at any time, okay? Okay, this is it. I'm going to stop sharing so I can say a proper goodbye. Well, that was amazing. I hope you got a lot out of that. I certainly enjoyed sharing my knowledge with you, and I would love to continue sharing my knowledge with you further on, and spending time with you to transform where it is that you're at, so that you can have that genuine connected love and that spark again. Okay, I'm Belinda Love, signing you off. See you all next time. Bye.